Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about the short story One Friday Morning, written by Langston Hughes. Now, before I go into summary analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. So, this short story by Langston Hughes is a very, very interesting short story. It deals with a young African American girl. She's in high school, and basically, she has to go through this conflict of racism, this conflict of where she loses a scholarship. She loses it because of her color, because she's a black girl, and the scholarship is only supposed to be given to white people. So the name of this little girl, this young high school teenager, is Nancy Lee Johnson. And Nancy Lee here, basically what happens to her is that she's a hard worker throughout her high school years. She works very hard. She gets good grades. She's a great artist. And with the help of her teacher, Miss Diedrich, she hones in her skills. She practices her skills. She really becomes a great painter, a great artist, and she just becomes the best in her class. She gets along with her classmates. She gets along with her principal. She gets along with everybody, and nobody really. The school is not the problem. Her high school is not the problem. This high school is set in the north. We're not given a specific city. This young girl, we know that her father and mother, they worked hard for their education. Her mother works in social services. Her father's a mail carrier, and the whole family basically they've worked really hard, extremely hard, to make a name for themselves. To make a life for themselves, to make a name for themselves. They moved to the north to give their daughter a better education, and they've done everything that they possibly can to do what's necessary for their daughter to be successful in life. And basically, what happens is that Nancy Lee here, Nancy Lee Johnson, she works hard. She's reached her senior year. She's about to graduate. Miss Diedrich is like her best teacher, her favorite teacher. And the vice principal, Miss O'Shea, they call her into Miss O'Shea's office. She goes in. She's scared. She thought that she did something wrong, but she hasn't done nothing wrong. This girl is smart. She gets good grades. She gets along with everybody in the school. The kids love her. Her classmates love her. There's no other issues of racism or anything like that. Miss O'Shea even congratulates her, tells her ahead of time that she's about to get the award. Miss Diedrich, helps her out. Everybody's waiting for her to get this award. And then pretty much the day comes and they tell her that she's not getting the award. She got prepared. She prepared a speech about liberty, about justice, about America, about what it means to be an American. And because because she's colored, because she's black, because she has African ancestry, because discrimination, she doesn't get it. They say that her work is great, her talent is great, but we don't believe that she'll fit in the because this city had just basically one art college, or after high school she could go to this art college and explore or develop her artistic creativity. And they say that there's no place for her, that she's not gonna fit in, it's not gonna work out. It's pretty much it's an all white school, and they say like they can't give her the scholarship. It's not gonna work out. And basically, Nancy here is pretty much she's distraught. She doesn't know what to do. And I mean, the thing is like her work, her productivity, her effort, her ambition, her art skills, even her name. I guess when you put all that together, I guess it passed because when they were looking at her application and everything, it seemed like a white person. The name. I mean, Nancy is it's pretty much a white name. Nancy Lee. I mean, the Johnson. I mean, I've seen a lot of black people with the last name Johnson. But again, Johnson is a common name in many different places. So the name doesn't scream out black person. So on paper, everything seemed like maybe to the council, to the art club, to the artistic club that was giving the scholarship. Maybe on paper it seemed like she was a white woman. a white teenager, but that's not who she was. She was a black woman that was very talented, that had artistic skills, and that wanted to explore them further in a place of higher education. But because of the color of her skin, not because of her merit, not because of what she's done, how hard she's worked, and her talent, just because she's black, they don't give her the scholarship, and she was looking forward to it. She was thinking about all the opportunities this would have opened for her, because her parents are hard workers. They barely have enough money to send her to college, to help her get a good education. Her parents had been to college, but she hadn't, and she thought that this scholarship would have helped her parents and help herself to really have a smooth transition from high school to college. But basically, they say no to her, and they're like, I'm so sorry, but you're not going to fit in. This is not for you. We're reserving this spot for scholarship for white students. And basically, the short story ends with Miss O'Shea telling her background as an immigrant. How she was an immigrant, and how she had to fight. She had to her background. They had to fight. They had to pretty much claw their way up to success. And Miss O'Shea tells her that the same way she's going to fight for her, and fight for people like her of her color, so that they can come up in the world. So that they can come up in the world, and make something of themselves, and not be discriminated against. A place where there could be freedom, liberty, and justice. And Miss O'Shea tells her that she's of an Irish background. She comes back. There was a time where she wasn't accepted, that her people weren't accepted, that her people weren't accepted, that they had to fight, that they didn't go anywhere, and they fought really hard to get where they are in America. And basically, what basically happens is that Miss O'Shea gives Nancy Lee Johnson here the motivation and the push that she needs to have some grit, and to pursue her dreams. And that's exactly what Nancy Lee Johnson does. She goes goes in for graduation. She puts her hand on her heart. She looks at the flag. She looks at what America represents. At its core, America represents liberty, truth, justice, the pursuit of happiness for all men and all women, all persons, all humans. Right? That's the idea that America upheld more than anything. And Nancy Lee Johnson says, maybe we haven't reached there yet, but that's what we're going to make America. So there's a hope there that, if you're coming from a different place, a different land, if you're a minority of any sorts, you got to fight. You got to have to push forward, so that you can obtain liberty, so that you can obtain justice, so that you can obtain, equality and human rights and things like that. So it's a very inspiring short story. In terms of deeper meaning, in terms of analysis here, there's a lot to take in. About Nancy Lee, her determination, the conflict between her color, her ambition, and how the society sees her. So society believes that because of her color, she cannot excel, she cannot fit in, but she believes through her determination, her intelligence, and the ambition and the drive that she gets from her family line to work hard, to pull yourself up by the bootstrap. I mean, she really embodies, she's a symbol for the American dream, for the American energy, the American drive, to fight against, to fight and pull yourself up no matter what the type of adversity that you're facing. So Nancy Lee here, she really represents that within this short story. Even though she gets walloped by this artistic club, she's not going to give up, even though that they try to hold her down. She believes that if they won't help her out, she's going, through her ambition, through her drive, she's going to make sure that America becomes a place of liberty, justice, and equality. And Miss O'Shea is a person that kind of represents that, and that helps her prove that. That will help her in the future, or people like Miss O'Shea will help her in the future to achieve that. So that's all I have to say about this short story. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.